TV shows have come and gone, and while some managed to maintain a positive upward movement from their first season, others couldn't recreate the initial magic. The funny thing is, no specific genre is an exception, as a downward spiral can happen to any show, regardless of its genre. Let's get straight to the top 10 TV shows that went downhill after the first season. Coming in at number 10 is Heroes, and while the first season was extremely promising, the following seasons failed to live up to the hype. Season 1 kicked off by focusing on the individual characters' superpowers and backstories one by one. This, in my opinion, was a wise decision by the writers, since it ensured that when the characters' stories were presented, viewers would gradually come to care about them. However, the writers seemed to have run out of follow-up ideas in Season 2, as the stories dragged on in a boring fashion, episode by episode. For some reason, the second season focused on the research of the Shanti virus, and as the story's pace got slower, the fans began to lose interest. This slow-paced storytelling also affected the following seasons, as the show attempted but failed to reinvigorate things. The series took a hard knock thanks to the writer's strike between 2007 to 2008, and as a result, its episode order was cut down from 23 to a measly 11. Fans and critics can only wonder how great the show would have become if there hadn't been a strike. All the same, the show took a nosedive afterward, much to the fans' dismay. At number 9, we've got the show that made Michael Scofield one of the most intelligent characters on TV. I'm talking about none other than Prison Break. It starts with a great storyline where Michael's brother gets locked up, and he decides that the best way to get him out is to get locked up in the same prison with a tattoo of the entire prison blueprint on his body. Brilliant, right? Yes, it was, except for the part where they finally broke out and the writers didn't know what to do next. In the second season, the brothers were on a hunt for some buried cash, and so was everyone else that escaped with them. From then on, it was one silly challenge after the other, which caused the show to lose its original taste. If Prison Break's first season were to be eliminated, I'd say it would just be another typical show. Next at number 8 is Riverdale. Unlike the first two shows on our list, Riverdale is still running, but many fans aren't too happy with what they're seeing so far. All credit to its first season, as it was as riveting as it could get. However, the second season couldn't keep many fans glued after the first few episodes. It's quite disappointing though, because a show that started as a dark teen drama that was true to the source material became an unnecessary display of horror and supernatural elements. As if that wasn't bad enough, they took the whole magic thing a little bit too far, leaving fans confused about what sort of show it was becoming. It isn't out of place to wonder what the show would have been if they had kept up with the same tone as Season 1. Now at number 7 is Supergirl. You would assume anything with an S on the chest would be super, and that brings us to number 7 on our list, Supergirl. Fans loved Supergirl's villain of the week style when it kicked off. From there, the writers wasted no time turning Kara into such an overly romantic character. Then came Season 2 and the introduction of Mon-El, who Kara had too many feelings for, and from there, the dip was on. Many fans felt the writers forced the romantic element into Kara, as that wasn't her true nature. I'm sure everyone wanted to see Supergirl in her natural independent element, where she would be able to make her own decisions. Sadly, too much romance spoiled the whole thing, not just for Supergirl's character, but for the entire show and the fans. Speaking of which, even Mon-El's exit from the show still wasn't enough to reignite the initial spark that Supergirl had. Coming in at number 6 of 10 TV shows that went downhill after the first season, 13 Reasons Why. We can't make such a list without having 13 Reasons Why on it. Our number 6 entry took off with a bang, as it was an engaging drama that told Hannah Baker's story through tapes that explained why she took her life. The sensitive themes in Season 1 were much appreciated by the fans, up until Season 2 at least. Here, the writers decided to bring Hannah back as a ghost, and that simply did not work. This move killed the show slowly but surely, as the main character, Clay Jensen, was relegated to moping around, all thanks to Hannah's ghost being around. This caused the entire show's execution to be annoyingly uneven, as it drifted away from its original plot and slowly turned into a crime drama. So, we're halfway through the video, and we've got 5 more shows that went downhill after the first season. Keep watching this video to find out which other shows took a hard dip after a bright start. Now at number 5 is Homeland. Homeland Season 1 was all about the mystery of Nicholas Brody's loyalties and whether he was filled with nefarious intentions or not. The problem with that was, what happens next after that question is answered? That answer came at the end of Season 1, and after that, the show floated around for several seasons without a single mystery to keep it tied together. After Season 1, the show didn't get as much praise from critics, and fans stopped watching. As a result, the show's popularity went down. For a show that was so good at the beginning, it was sad to see a lack of fan interest each time the premiere of a new season was announced. Next, at number 4, is Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow's original premise was loved by fans across the globe, as it was entirely focused on the mystery surrounding the Headless Horseman. But before you knew it, the show's story had morphed into how annoying Ichabod's wife was becoming. Speaking of which, it was later revealed that she was a witch who antagonized him on a regular basis. The following seasons of the show didn't do much to lift fans' spirits, as they left the original outline in the dark, only to become a police procedural with supernatural aspects that were unable to recreate the original spark. At number 3 on our list list is True Detective, which at some point, it seemed like its developers had no idea what they were doing. The show began with Rust Cohle and Marty Hart getting to the bottom of a crime that had been unsolved for decades. However, with the following seasons trying to confuse viewers rather than offer the same entertainment value as Season 1, it was only a matter of time before fans got fed up. It is safe to say that the negative response from the second season was more than enough to delay the third season's release by years. Maybe the developers were trying to figure out how to get back on track during that time, although it caused them to lose fans who were simply tired of waiting. And even as the third season arrived, many fans were left asking themselves, is this what took you guys years to make? Disappointing. At number 2 is none other than 24, which was a show that offered great promise at the beginning thanks to the heroic antics of Jack Bauer. And besides all the nail-biting action, the show was unique in that all it took for Jack to bust a terrorist attack was a mere 24 hours. Each episode details the events per hour, and it worked all through Season 1. However, there's only so much the fans can take, and as the same outline repeated itself season after season, it felt like there was nothing new the show could offer. Well, it's not like they couldn't offer anything new though, as there was always a new terrorist in the show getting under the CTU's skin. And you guessed right, Jack smashed them all in 24 hours. Finally, we're at number 1, and this spot goes to Star Trek Enterprise. After the first season debuted, the show might have been able to compete with Star Wars, but that was not to be. Many fans felt the following seasons didn't make the most of a solid start, as they went into a bad multi-season story arc that tampered with its quality. The first season concentrated on singular stories, which were all based on episodic content. Sadly, the subsequent seasons trapped the characters in storylines that took too long to resolve. There you have it, guys. 10 TV shows that went downhill after the first season. Are there any other shows you can think dwindled after they had a solid start? Please share your experience in the comments section. Don't forget to like and share this video, and while you're at it, subscribe and turn on notifications for more entertaining videos like this. Thanks for watching.